Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're going to be discussing all of this. Let's get going. Okay, so these all came through this week. I've got the Enterprise ship as well, but I'm going to do a whole different video just on that. I'm also, if you want to see, click to subscribe. But I'll be reviewing each of these individually. So this is effectively, without the phaser, this is effectively what Wave 1 looks like. There's a few issues, and I will go through them individually when I do the review. But this is what you get. You get your 3 figures from Wrath of Khan. This is Khan here. You get your 3 next-gen figs as well, which are these ones. And from the new Trek, you get obviously Michael Burnham and Saru. Now these should, there's them two there. Now these should start. Well, I should say these should start. They should start. They've already started showing up in shops as well. My orders both came from the Entertainer and through Props and Replicas. If you're an inbox collector, I would definitely suggest Props and Replicas. They sent them really well packaged. If you were getting from the Entertainer, who uses Every or Herms, whatever they want to call themselves this week, obviously that's how mine came. But I'm not an inbox collector. But these are the figures. This is Wave 1. We don't know yet what Wave 2 is going to be. Overall, I'm really happy to be collecting these. I have got to say though, now the UK distributor for these is Bandai, and nowhere on these cards, even on the phaser actually, it doesn't say Bandai anywhere on this, which is really surprising because obviously the European distributor for Playmates toys is Bandai. All their other stuff says Bandai on it, Playmates and Bandai. All this says is just Playmates. Just thought I'd say that. Also as well, you'll notice that the packaging is a little bit different from the US packaging. So this Star Trek Universe packaging, which is the blue, we'll have a look at the data, is different to the retro packaging that you guys get in the US. So in the US, you get the retro packaging, unless it's the new Trek stuff, then it will come like this. But if you're in the UK or Europe, you will get this packaging. You won't get the retro style packaging. They're also not numbered as well. If you remember rightly, when these originally first come out, they were collector numbered. So they'd have a little gold plaque on it that said that it was a collector's edition and they were numbered. Playmates have already said they're not doing that this time round, which is really cool. You know, you see that how you saw it. I never saw it as a collector thing because you're ripping these open and playing with them. But I know some people very much preferred that sort of element to it, because I never knew what the numbers were. The problem that they had with that system was how many were done worldwide, what the numbers actually mean, because some of them mean production line and year and all of that. But no information like that ever came out. So you could have one that said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, but you wouldn't know what that meant. If that meant that was that many numbers off the production line, or if the number at the end was just the production line number, or, you know what I mean, you just didn't know. So I'm quite glad that they've got rid of that system. A lot of people as well thought that they were collector pieces, so they were worth more money. Some bits go for more than less, but I didn't really see any value in those numbers, really, just because there's not enough information out there to judge. Obviously, if there's things numbered now and you go to like sort of Sideshow and they're numbered, you know that if it's numbered 249, yours is 249, and then it will say of 500, and that'll be 500 worldwide. But But anyway, getting off that. These look really good. I've got to say, the styling, the head sculpt, everything like that, it all looks really good. I don't know whether I'm just a bit more excited because they're new and we sort of haven't really seen them before, if you know what I mean. So I'm wondering whether that's just like the giddiness of it all. But I mean, when you look at this, I mean, you're going to get sort of re versions of these. I mean, let's just take Picard for instance. So we've got the new Star Trek Picard coming out. That's out at the moment. Well, I say out, coming out. So we'll most likely get Picard from Star Trek Picard, but obviously he's in his TNG uniform here. There's a sort of opportunity to bring him out in Star Trek Generations, First Contact uniform, and also Seasons 1 and 2 uniform as well. So, but Playmates did do an interview, which is on my, on our Facebook group. So if you click here, that will take you to the Nexus page, which the links are in there as well. And if you click the QR code down here, or scan the QR code, not click, that will take you straight to the Facebook group. And if you haven't got a phone to hand, you're watching this on a phone, you can click the description under this video. It will take you straight to the group. Now, in the group, there was a Q&A session done from someone else, and I've posted it in our group. And there's some interesting things in there. So their plan is to do 2 to 3 waves a year. This is just the first one. So I'm expecting another 2, maybe 3, before the end of 2023. That's the plan. That's what I would like anyway. And they said that they're going to concentrate going forward on the core characters. So I would imagine, you know, the core characters being the sort of main cast, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that means that we'll get you know, characters like Wesley Crusher. I don't know if we're going to get them. I would imagine so, because he's quite popular, but I don't think he's one of the core characters that they were going on about. You know, characters that pop up and down through the series as well. So like Reg Barkley, Ro Laren, you know, Ducat, Garak, Quark. I don't know if we're ever going to get those ones, because I don't think they were the main core characters of those shows. You could argue that Quark was for Deep Space Nine. Another one that I was discussing with a friend was a Voyager character, and that's Kess. They are definitely going to do 7 of 9, but will they do Kess, who was in the first 2 seasons? Also, as well, they said they're going to do the core characters. You also had Dr. Pulaski in season 2 of The Next Generation. She was a core character, but only for 1 season, so I don't know if we'll ever get her. You know, I think we will eventually get those characters that I've mentioned, but whether or not they'll be in like the first lot of figures, I very much doubt it. And they're probably going to be heavily focused on some of the newer Trek stuff. So you know, like Strange New Worlds, Discovery, obviously, Star Trek Picard, and so obviously Lower Decks as well. So they're bringing out Lower Decks characters in the same sort of style, which is really cool. I mean, but yeah, going forward, they said they're going to concentrate on the core characters. We probably will get Picard in Generations outfit and First Contact, but I wouldn't have thought just yet. I think they're going to sort of core out a lot of the characters. I can't wait for them to do, you know, characters like Wolf, Geordie, Deanna Troi, all those sort of characters. But ones I really want to see are ones that we never got in the Playmates style, and that is from obviously Star Trek Enterprise. So Archer, you know, Trip, all those sort of Dr. Flux as well, all those sort of characters that we never really got a figure of are going to be the ones that I think are going to be really cool to get. They come with like little accessories as well. They all come with little accessories, which is nice, and a stand. The stand is the same Delta stand for all of them. Originally, the badge for each series had their own. It had their own stand in the shape of the com badge for the show, but we've gone with like a standardising, which is really cool. Some of them are I think some of the scans are actually really good. Some of them are a little bit hit and miss. Data, for instance, Michael Burnham as well. But I think overall they're really good. Price point on this is phenomenal. So these are 5-inch figures, I do believe. No, they're not 5-inch figures. They're slightly bigger than the original Playmates, which I think were 3.5. So I think these are like 4.5, maybe a bit smaller. But in size comparison, these are so much more cheaper than stuff for, like, say, Star Wars or Marvel, in the same or around the same sort of scale. So obviously the Black Series for the Star Wars stuff, though it's a little bit more detailed, and some of the stuff is like big or small. But if we go for the smaller scale ones, which is the 375 size figures for Star Wars, they retail for about £10 to £15. These are 12 quid. So these are really good for price wise, for picking up. If you've got a little Trekkie who's just starting out, these are perfect. They can crack these open and play with these and have their own adventures. Or if you're an in-box collector, these are really cool as well. They're very visual, as you can see, which is nice. They even have the ship for the show as well on the top. I will say this, they are lacking information on the back, though I do find that there is a difference between the US and the Europe and the UK US versions of packaging. It's not just these. WWE and stuff like that have different backings. This is like a little bio about the Star Trek universe. It's the same on every single packet. There is literally no difference. What I also like, which is kind of neat, is this sort of, and I'm gonna sit it just here, is this sort of interlocking, and you get like the sort of whoosh effect here from the ship, but they sort of interlock slightly, which is really cool. And as you can see, it sort of matches up slightly, but I think that's quite cool. They sort of, if you're an in-box collector, you can get them up quite close to each other, and you can still see the name on them as well. And like I said, they sort of interlock, which is really cool. So these figures are, they've said they want people to crack them open and play with them, but actually, I think what they've sort of realised is there's a big emphasis on us as a collector. So I think that's what they're going for, collector-wise. Obviously, there is no new information about season or wave 2, which is really surprising. But there's a lot of toy fairs coming up in the coming months. So hopefully, we will get some look of what is going to be in wave 2. That's the hope. Anyway, but overall, I'm really excited for everything, especially like the phaser as well. Once again, that is an absolute bargain. You know, this is £20. Any sort of weaponry from any show is like a lot of money. You're looking at like 40, maybe even 50. For this £20, I'm going to be picking up a few of these actually. This is not going to be my only one. I'm going to pick up quite a few of these. But there it is. Like I said, the only thing that we're missing from the whole collection is the ship. But I'm going to do a whole series on that. So make sure you click to subscribe if you want to see more. Like I said as well, I'm going to crack open each of these and we're going to look individually every single figure, as well as the phaser as well. So make sure you check that out as well. When I do that, make sure you click subscribe. That's it for me today. Let me know what you think about the figures, if you've picked them up, if you haven't picked them up, what you think in general, if you're a figure collector but you're not too sure. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and like always, we'll see you at the next video.